What's up, guys? My name is Riley, this is my buddy Wyatt, and welcome to Chimicomics. Today we are going to be reviewing Spider-Man Blue.
Did somebody say Spider-Man Blue? Spider-Man? That's right, Wyatt. I am your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And also, this is my buddy Riley. But I heard y'all are doing Spider-Man Blue, and I thought I'd come by, swing by, do what Spider-Man do. Friendly neighborhood and all.
Well, thanks for being a guest on our show, Spider-Man.
I'm here to give Riley one of them upside down kissaroos.
No, I don't think so.
Come on, Riley.
No.
Come on.
Think of
It's
the
what
views,
I've
man.
been
Think
wanting
of the views.
since I got here. No.
Oh my gosh.
Luckily, I came here to reveal myself.
Peter Parker?
It's true. Look, I'm not even on the screen. It's better that way. I can't reveal myself to these people. Yeah. What's up? What's up,
You got a
fellas?
nice hair flip going on there.
Good.
Yeah,
I
dude.
should.
Look like Andrew
Been
Garfield.
fighting crime here recently. Doing that Spider-Man.
Our town definitely needs Spider-Man in it.
It's true, it's true. Spider Cop sometimes. Sometimes that's what they call me in New York, But anyways, I suggested this. My name's Tanner. I suggested Spider-Man Blue because it's my favorite comic. Also, your podcast mic says blue, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, it does.
You were set up for this whole thing. You were ready for me
I-
to be here.
I guess I was just ready for this episode since the beginning.
I don't blame you.
We've been planning
I
for
don't
it.
blame you. It's my favorite Spider-Man comic.
It's pretty good.
It was.
It's I told you.
It's
I
pretty
told
good.
you. My
Art was
favorite.
great.
My favorite.
Story was great.
Steve Ditko based.
Yeah. Anyway, this is my buddy Tanner.
Hi,
He's
fans.
very eccentric, as you can tell.
I am, but also Spider-Man on the side.
More like in the closet.
So Spider-Man Blue, let's just get into the story. Right before, we like to give a 1 to 10 review, like how much we enjoyed it. So, Tanner, what'd you think of it?
I can't guess what he thinks of it.
2 Spidey thumbs up. Also 10 out of a 10.
10, okay. Any highlights? Without
Highlights?
Spoiling?
Without.
part,
That's
Just the
really
overall-
hard. I love the relationships in this. I love how they build up the relationships and they set the background for each individual character in ways that other Spider-Man stories don't.
Mm-hmm.
So there's my 2 cents.
But you watch.
Also a very good 10. And like you said, the relationships between the characters, I'm not as into Spider-Man as either of these two are, but I know of the characters and I know how big their relationships are, and this comic sets it all up.
Mhm.
So, Riley?
10. I'll give it a 10.
I told you.
All right. You did tell me, and I put it off for a while, but Spider-Man, favorite character, hands down. If it wasn't for that first Sam Raimi movie, I wouldn't be into superheroes. This just plays off of all the classic Spidey stuff. It's everything you want. It goes through it while elaborating on some things that they didn't actually do in the original issues. And this is one of the few comics that I could say really hit me in the feels. I guess you
This
could say.
is definitely blue.
Especially the ending, like you know how sometimes you just get a chill from something that makes you feel for the character. I definitely got that at the
I
end.
love it when you whisper in my ear, Tanner, like that. You're welcome. This is turning into ASMR real quick.
I want to know, is this y'all's favorite Spider-Man story? How does it rank right now? Y'all just read it.
Out of
so-
all I've read, I would be safely to say that it is my favorite. I've read
Right.
his debut in Amazing Fantasy,
15, yeah.
and the first official Spider-Man story, and we also read Venom's introduction, which is another video on our channel. But out of all of them, I do say confidently that Spider-Man Blue was my favorite to read, and I'll probably reread it sometime.
hmm
Right on.
For me, it's not my favorite, but I can't deny that it's one of the best. Like, I don't have anything to knock it. Like, it was a really good story. There's other stories that I just like more, but this one I really did like a lot. It's probably top 3 for me.
Yeah, that's respectable.
It's a really great story.
Really good, yes. And Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, they team up all the time to write and draw stories, and you can just tell when it's going to be a good one.
Dang right.
So this story is a 6-issue story.
Reads pretty fast.
Yeah, it doesn't take you long at all. The art's good as usual. It's Tim Sale, and the writing is good. Jeff Loeb, he's got like a 50-50 track record. He's got some really good ones, and then some kind of duds like the Hulk. I don't think was very good, but this one was very good. And he knows the Spider-Man. He knows quite a bit.
So
So,
we're
we
going to
wanna-
get into the story.
Story spoilers.
Spoiler
Yeah.
warning.
Spoiler
From
warning
here
on
on
out.
Free, just spoil away.
Okay. I want to ask y'all something. So when y'all read this, did y'all like the characterization of Mary Jane?
I think it was a...
Or it's very different.
Yeah.
It's very different. But the end kind of puts her where she should be. But before that, did y'all like Mary Jane?
I
I thought it was very Mary Jane.
Yeah.
But it was a little more Mary Jane than we're used to.
Yeah.
Like just going up and stealing a French fry from
Yeah.
the guys.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
kind of weird. And out of
It was a
place.
huge contrast. It shows really how she's changed though from her
Right. She
debut.
was a party girl,
Yeah.
basically.
Mhm.
like, and
Well, she's always been that.
Right.
out of narratively, character development is one of the most important parts, and this really just shows because when we read Venom, it showed more older Mary Jane after these events had happened.
Yeah, they were married.
Yeah, and the characterization of before and after hits
That's
to me. Yeah,
That's one
Right.
of the main points of the story.
Yeah.
Is the maturation of Mary Jane.
Mhm.
And Peter, for
Yeah.
that matter. Because
Yeah,
this
'cause,
is
I mean, he starts
this
out.
is what, 1 year after the death of Gwen Stacy? Does he say? I'm not sure. It might say in that first panel. I don't remember.
Because they say that he's married now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be more than a year after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a couple years after, but it was like,
He was,
was-
out of the apartment, and out of the city.
You
They were
can't
in
really
a
tell
house.
because
Yeah.
like comics.
yeah. But he still mentioned that it was like that day that's when he met
He
her.
said he goes to the bridge every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Valentine's Day. And
For-
throws a
that's
rose.
it. I knew it was
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. I couldn't remember.
I mean, I would guess between 5 and 10 years
probably, yeah.
after her
I'd
death.
be safe estimating that.
But he still remembers that, and he's still dealing with
Her
losing
loss.
Gwen, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So this is him retelling how he met Gwen, and like when they decided to become a couple.
And like he's trying to get all these feelings out.
Because I mean, as soon as Gwen's there, Mary Jane is right on his door.
Yeah.
And not what he expects. He's like,
No.
"Oh, it's a niece of Aunt May's friend. She probably knows
Yeah.
how to knit." And then
Yeah.
she shows
Yeah.
up, and she's
Mary
Whoa.
Jane. Face
Smoking
tiger,
Mary Jane.
you
Yeah.
hit the jackpot.
Yeah, that's our line.
So much confidence in that girl.
yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
And Peter, being Peter, could not say no. Really.
No, he couldn't.
Could
say
you?
No, heck no. I couldn't say no to Gwen though. So what can you say?
I was surprised at how chill she was about Mary Jane, like flaunting Peter around.
I know.
I was
Like, as soon as
surprised
they-
how chill Mary Jane was about him still holding a torch for Gwen
That too.
all those years later.
Mhm. That's
I
just
mean,
true love.
That is true love, but
Something I will probably never experience.
yeah, you'll experience it.
God,
but-
Wyatt.
I mean, just the ending, like where he opens the box and he's looking at old pictures of her and it's his notes and stuff and like their first date and stuff like that. And then Mary Jane comes in, he's recording basically the whole each comic is him recording a series of dialogues
Mhm.
about their experience and how they met and what happened. And there's a whole little, I think the side story here is actually Kraven the Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
which is
You're
he's
definitely
building all these animal creatures to
Mhm.
fight Peter so he can test it and then he can fight Peter at the end and then get his ultimate hunt. And then at the end he finally starts dating Gwen, basically, is how that goes. But then like at the end, he's recording all these and Mary Jane's been listening the whole time and hasn't said anything. And she's
Until
like,
the
I miss
end.
her too.
Yeah, tell
Yeah.
her tell her hello from me.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was
that
awesome.
hits you in the feels.
Oh yeah, it hits you in the feels, but it's like,
It's like,
I mean, I kind of feel for Mary Jane there. I'm like, okay, he's still holding a torch for this girl 5
Yeah.
years ago, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I just wanted to hear y'all's thoughts on that.
I mean, I thought that was very mature of her.
mhm.
And
Oh, yeah.
It really just shows her growth.
Like-
Like especially because our first in this comic, her first appearance is her just flaunting around, like you said, stealing the French fry from the guy, and just leading Harry on as well.
Hmm. She was just like dating Harry to just
Oh yeah.
waste time while she
Oh,
was
yeah.
waiting on Peter. You can
Yeah.
really tell.
I loved how Harry like asked Peter, he's like, care if I go for her?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
He's like, I know you've been getting close to
Gwen was jealous.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
Major jealous. So they all kind of used each other, but it's alright.
I guess so.
Except for Flash. I don't
Flash-
think anyone uses Flash.
But even then, Flash does have that, shows his characterization of that he loves Spider-Man.
He does.
And he sees Spider-Man as a hero.
Yeah.
And
Still
he
hates
just-
Peter, but he loves Spider-Man. I don't blame him.
At the end, he said something like, maybe Pete is an okay
Yeah,
guy.
he's like-
Yeah.
You can tell he's
'Cause,
starting to warm up. To
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
Harry has been saying that. I'm telling you, Flash, Pete's a pretty swell guy.
Because, like, in the, what was it, like, maybe early 80s, he started to be, like, friends with Peter
Mm.
in the comics.
Right.
So that was a little bit of foreshadowing for that. But, yeah, like, Mary Jane being okay with him doing this recording, like, it's kind of weird.
It is
but
kind of weird.
It's, at the same
But
time...
it shows how she changed, too.
Yeah.
It shows her understanding.
Yeah.
Of it
At the same time, it's like,
Because
she really loves him to let him experience these feelings
Right.
and just be completely okay with it and not be jealous or mad. I just thought that was cool.
she's not shallow enough to be jealous of a dead girl.
I guess.
I just don't think
Well,
she could do that.
she came back as a clone.
She does.
Okay, don't know about that.
You know, we'll get
That's
there,
another
man.
story for another day.
We're talking about good Spider-Man stories here, Riley.
Fair enough.
Did you get PTSD when your dead girlfriend just shows up?
Yeah. Who would?
This story made me remember how much I missed Gwen Stacy. Because, like, my first Gwen Stacy experience was obviously the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yep. That's how I kind of saw this. It's
So,
kind of like a continuation on that.
People may not like those movies very much, but you can't deny that love story was
Spot
like,
on.
the
Yep.
best. It was better than Peter and Mary Jane in the original
Oh,
movies. And that I
And
felt
it was
that in the
gut.
story.
It was gut wrenching when we got to the end of that movie.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I saw it with you.
Oh yeah, and they don't actually show her dying in the book, so you don't get that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was a brutal death.
But you still know that's there.
Oh yeah, and this story is more of a love song to longtime comic readers that actually read that issue when it came out, as kind of like closure, I guess.
Yeah.
Because people reading that issue when it came out, they were actually crying, literally, when they lost that character, because nobody had ever died like that before.
No, I'm not gonna lie, I cried a little bit just reading this.
Yeah.
Read Spider-Man Blue. That
Mhm.
part at the end where he's like talking about her, he's like, sometimes I feel blue, but sometimes I think about a girl who made me smile like no one ever has. And then he's like, I miss you, Gwen. And then the recording ends.
Yeah.
And then Mary Jane's standing there like, okay. Like, I was like, I miss her too, Peter. Like, come on.
At the very beginning, it starts with click. Whir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I thought that was?
What?
Now this will show you how deep my Spidey knowledge goes. I thought it was the living brain. Because you know how he makes that noise?
I
You
don't
don't know what that is?
living brain
Okay,
is.
I don't
all right,
either.
I'll explain it to
Probably
you.
fought him a couple times, but
It's
I
this-
don't remember.
No, you've never fought him. It's this robot, right? He's like really square. And
Robot.
You thought I would be
Man.
making you read a living brain comic?
I didn't know what it was. Because, all right, when in the comics, that's exactly the noise he makes.
Yeah.
Click, whir, click, and he talks. He's just a robot that makes these like scientific computations really
Nice.
quickly. He's like a human calculator, really.
Nice.
I mean, a robot calculator, but
I do know.
he talks and interacts with people, and that's what I thought it was, but it wasn't. And spoilers for Superior Spider-Man. If you've never read that. After, like, how he becomes Peter, like
Yeah.
he's in his body and stuff.
Otto Octavius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after Peter like kind of flushed him out,
Yeah.
he stored his life in the living brain for a while.
Nice.
like as Data.
nice.
Yeah, but now he's got a body. I
Well,
think
why,
he's like
now we have living brain knowledge.
like a clone of Peter now. or
It's
something.
always good to have living brain
Yeah, I
knowledge.
guess
I
so.
myself have a living brain in here too.
It's true. It's true.
Dang it. It's
Well, I'm glad this wasn't a living brain comic, honestly.
At least
Me
it wasn't
too.
a Riddler story.
Was it? No,
oh
like-
man, what if it ended?
What if
in
it ended?
The living brains in the corner.
But
It was me, Peter. I threw her off the bridge. Okay.
I thought the villains were good by being side characters,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this was more of a character story
Oh,
rather
yeah.
than a villain.
Oh,
centered
That
story.
was
the Craven the Hunter thing was just kind of tacked on.
yeah.
you
When
know?
I was reading
liked it,
through,
though.
I
I
was
liked
just
it
like,
too. I liked it too. I mean, I liked having something on the side where he was
And
fighting
that's-
stuff.
That's exactly what he did in the early comics. Like
Yep.
he was studying his opponents
Yep.
and trying to go after the spider.
Which is kind of weird for us to be saying, oh, the best Spider-Man comic is the one with Craven the Hunter is the villain in it.
Yeah, but
But really, the villain here in this story is like Peter dealing with his emotions.
Yeah.
Isn't it the Green Goblin though? Because he's who hired
I think
The
that's
Hunter,
revealed
yeah.
eventually, yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
he hired Craven to take out Spider-Man.
Yeah, because
Right.
he still wants to be dead, I guess. Because I mean, that part of the plot wasn't really resolved.
No, it wasn't.
Because
left
they
it
were on
open.
the Norman was on the roof with Harry after
Right.
Spider-Man
Mhm.
rescued him, and he kind of just
You can never-
you can tell his amnesia is starting to break too. 'cause
Yeah.
he's like Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that scene where they're in the apartment, Harry and Peter, and he's like, "Hey man, pass me that aftershave."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole
And
reason.
he puts it on, and then Craven bursts through the window, and he's like,
He's
"Spider-Man!"
Oh yeah, because he smells him and it's that
And
aftershave.
he just grabs Harry.
Yeah.
And Peter's like,
Not
"Why
before-
did you grab Harry."
No,
because he had that smell. He has a
Flash
scent.
tried to stop him too. He's like, just because
Oh
Flash,
yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah,
Nah.
just because his heart's in the right place doesn't mean he's strong enough or something like that.
Just because you put on a uniform doesn't
Yeah,
make you any
doesn't
smarter.
mean you're
Yeah.
smarter.
And later on, when they were fighting, he's like, and Craven never did anything like that again. Just grabbing based on smell.
Yeah, based on smell.
You.
I'm glad. I'm
Wait,
glad
what?
you.
And he said, and I never wore cologne after that
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, that was a great part of the story. I actually forgot all about that part. It just like skipped my mind for some reason.
Peter's reaction though, just why did he take Harry?
I like that part. And you get all the good interactions with Aunt May.
Oh yeah.
Like, well, one time he's wearing a suit and he's about to leave, and she's like, "Oh, Peter, you look so nice." And he's like, "Well, who would notice next to the prettiest girl
I
this
know.
Yeah.
side of the this side of the Mississippi?"
He's so kind.
And
of
when
Aunt May.
when
I always
he
love
moved,
that.
when he's saying he's gonna move in with Harry to that apartment.
Yeah, and he
she's saying-
doesn't want Aunt May to get mad or sad.
Yeah, and she decides she's gonna move in
With the other.
Anna
Anna.
Watson,
She's like, "Will you be mad?"
and
Is that
he's
okay?"
like, I'm
And
just
she
more
like
worried.
had a feeling that he had already asked
And
her.
he goes, I'm just worried you two are gonna be wearing rock music and have the cops called on you.
Aunt May's are great. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like in this novel they really characterize all the characters
Mhm.
like how they should be,
Mhm.
and it really gives them like certain perspective on like different other things, like
If
the
you-
growth of Mary Jane, the growth of Peter.
You can tell that he did his homework and he knows his
Oh, yeah.
characters.
If
He
you had
definitely
to,
has
based on
characters.
this book, if you had to describe Peter, Aunt May, Mary Jane, and Gwen all in one word, what would it be?
All in one word.
Yeah.
Like if how they were characterized.
Yeah, just out of this book.
Perfect. I feel like they were characterized perfect. The only one I see, that's why I asked y'all at the start. I said Mary Jane.
Mary
Do
Jane,
y'all
yeah.
think she was characterized right? Because there are arguments online that are like, no, that's not Mary Jane.
And that's
No,
I was okay.
that's
with it.
everywhere.
I liked it.
I did too.
I thought it was
I
perfect.
thought it was very much Mary Jane just because I've seen her in other stories where she totally acts like that.
Yeah.
And she's a famous New York model, and she's always like attending parties at fancy places.
Yeah,
and
when
that's,
they-
that's
when
just
they-
her, man.
Yep.
When they moved in during the Venom storyline, like Peter ran out of friends, so she calls all these like celebrities to their house.
To help him move.
Yeah.
And he's always been the guy chasing the hot girl.
Mhm.
Like she's got him on a rope, you know.
Yep.
You can just
Way
tell.
out of my league.
But I mean, I thought that's what this story was.
Yep.
I
Except
thought
with
she
two
was
hot
just
girls.
fine.
Yeah.
I liked it.
He was chasing two. You were chasing two.
I was chasing too. Story of my life.
And you could tell everybody else was just like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Like,
what? What's so
they weren't-
special about Peter?
Yeah, Flash especially. He's like, I don't get it. He keeps repeating
Yeah.
that.
They weren't put off by her forwardness. They were more just like amazed at
Peter.
how
Yeah.
awesome she was.
How
and why
awesome she was,
with
and
Peter.
why is this girl with Peter?
Yeah.
Like, they're all sitting at dinner. Why is he with Peter?
And Gwen was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Well.
She was like,
Well.
well, dang. But yeah, I'm glad y'all liked it so much.
Oh yeah.
I've
Definitely
been recommending this for a long time. You started doing this podcast or comic show, whatever y'all want to call it, comic cast.
That's
So-
a good one. We should write that down.
Comic cast. I mean, come on. But I really enjoy y'all's content. I've been putting comments in there and suggesting Spider-Man Blue, so I appreciate y'all having me on.
Oh yeah.
Always
of
good to
course.
have a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. here.
Tanner's got a show called the Do Nothings
I
Podcast.
do.
We'll link it below in the description.
Yeah.
It's on Apple MP3 services. Me and Riley's actual first episode's on there. It's we're talking
Yeah,
about the
I'm on there
DC
too.
extended universe,
Ooh.
and we'll have another one coming up about the ranking of the Star Wars movies. So
Sounds good.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening to us. I'll let them draw out the show because it is their show.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like.
Comment.
Let me know what you thought about Spider-Man over here. He might make another appearance. We'll see. He's putting on the suit right now. Anyway, I do unboxings. We do comic reviews, just like this one.
Continue.
All right. We'll probably be doing. What do you think? Like another Batman story soon?
Batman's always fun.
Yeah, we do pretty good with Batman.
He is the
So look forward to that. I really want to get into the DC events like Crisis on Infinite Earths. That'll be a good one. It will be very detailed, I think, as the story is. So read up. Wyatt,
I am the detailist.
yes you are. I'm counting on you because I'll forget a lot of them.
I got
Uh,
you, fam.
All right, we'll see you on the next one.
I'm friendly in neighborhood.